Welcome back, you guys. I am so beyond excited. Madison walked into Concha's kitchen and immediately I was like, who are you? And then she started telling me about all her powers and I was like, your wisdom needs to be on the podcast. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm beyond overjoyed. You're a new friend, so a lot of this podcast is going to be my discovery of your genius. That from what I know so far, you're a psychic surgeon, and I am so curious what that means.
So, in a nutshell, people are coming to me with all sorts of health issues. With health issues are at like the root of my work. It's my foundation. So, medical intuition, we can say, or medical mediumship. And so, somebody comes to me with some kind of mental, spiritual, emotional, physical health imbalance issue, we'll call it. Basically, I'm opening up the light field. Their light field starts talking to me and telling me all the imbalances that are present. We're using then energy healing or source energy, or sometimes I know how to transfer frequencies as well to support with clearing those imbalances, whether they be trapped emotions, toxins, pathogens, you name it, to then support the innate intelligence to activate and natural healing to occur. So this can happen all the way down at a cellular, like mitochondrial level, to like galactic, multidimensional. So I'm looking through like so many multidimensional aspects of someone's life, body, and field, all the way down to the cellular natures.
Wow. Okay, pretend you're talking to someone that has no idea what you're talking about, right? Like, what does open the light field mean?
So we all have an auric field, right? So within the auric field, it's like a bubble of light. And some people it gets really close, and some people can go like miles and miles and miles. Their field can spread. So, it's like if somebody were to walk in a room, you're like, whoa, you feel them?
Feel them.
Like from far away. Like you can feel them before they come. That's something like auric presence is what I would call that. And so within somebody's auric field, it contains their chakras. All like when someone says like an astral body, like a heavenly body, a mental body, a physical body, emotional body, it all contains all of that. It also contains all of our past life information if you believe in past lives. Every memory that we've experienced is stored there. So I also look at it in my work. I'll kind of talk about the body and I'll switch it interchangeably. Like it's like a computer system. So I'm accessing the innate intelligence, the computer system of somebody's light field. Wow. So, and I call it a light field because I'm seeing light. Yeah. And so when somebody comes to work with me, it's literally like a holographic screen pops up in front of me.
Wow.
Because I work with people all around the world. So it's not usually in physical.
Yeah.
So yeah, I call it the light body because that's what I'm reading. I'm reading light.
Wow. Okay, I want the backstory and we're going to dive deeper. Like, how did you discover this? Was this like childhood gift?
Yes.
And did your parents support it or were they like, what's wrong with you?
My mom, I come from a line of psychics and doctors and nurses and whatnot, and also business people and architects. So it's all kind of like, oh wow, I really chose some really great DNA to incarnate into. My mom was a medium growing up. So if a spirit wanted to talk to her, sometimes it would get a little, what's that show called? Paranormal Activity. Oh. A little paranormal activity growing up. If radios would go off in the middle of the night, things would fly off the bookshelves, things would go missing, TVs would go on and off. And my mom could always predict or knew like when a natural disaster was coming, when someone was going to die or cross over. And then once someone would cross over, she would do automatic channel writings for loved ones.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very present. So my mom always empowered us growing up to like use your intuition, trust your gut. We would interpret our dreams for as early as I can remember. Like we would talk about our dreams. So like it was very welcomed and present.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So like there's a foundation there.
So brilliant because it's the one thing that I call it the juice of our juice cleanse is tuning into your intuition and trusting and learning. We've never had an intuition class in school.
No,
never.
That's what should be the foundation. It's like, hey, these are your emotions. These are your feelings. These are your sensations.
Yeah.
This is how we have conversations about them.
Right. It's literally the greatest gift and tool we have, and we're not taught how to use it or trust it. In fact, we're taught the opposite. Don't trust it. Keep eating, even though you're full. Right? You know that before 5 years old, you cannot get a kid to eat more than when they're full. And at 5 years old, they'll start overriding that innate wisdom and keep eating because they're told they can't leave the table until they finish the food.
There's so many health disorders and like eating disorders, especially in the United States. I mean, I don't know what it's like in other cultures. But
yeah. I think it's universal. Using food as a coping mechanism, I would venture to guess is a universal. We're rewarded with food, right? Be a good girl, you get a treat. So, wow. Okay. Profound. I'm so happy your mother taught you to honor that gift.
Very
and develop it.
And like, she'd also say, hey, if something's not safe, like you call me, you tell me, like if something's even just an inkling off, listen to that. So that's been very, I mean, I've definitely over my years, I've like overridden that. And with that has come many beautiful lessons around discernment and like trusting that initial instinct.
Yeah.
Because that's the intuition. The intuition is literally like the first thing that we feel or sense before the mind kicks on.
Right. Right. It's subtle.
It's so, and it's quiet. It's
Yeah.
really quiet.
Like,
and
don't
that's
do that.
why like I always let people come to me. It's like, what do I need to do? It's like meditating. That's literally everyone's meditating. So you can start to tune into that first initial instinct.
Yeah.
Before the mind turns on, before all the programming turns on. And sometimes it's like, it's crazy to sometimes listen to that little initial instinct.
Yeah.
It's also fun.
Yeah. It's really fun. It's really fun. So, now a good friend, Kyle Cease, is a funny comedian turned transformation coach. And he talks about meditating and how he sits for the first 30 minutes. It's just the monkey mind, just all the things that needs to be done and he's fighting in his head and all, right? All the conversations. And he just sits there and he stays with it. He says, if I get up in that moment, I have given those things the mic and the driving wheel of my life. So he stays there until he gets to just silent observation. And when he gets to that space, he tunes into like the infinite wisdom of love and peace and kindness, right? And then he just expands that from there. And he's like, then I'm allowed to start my day.
That's how I operate too.
Yeah.
Even if it takes me hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And my technique when I teach you so cute. It does sometimes. Sometimes it's like
hours.
Sometimes I wake up and it's like 3 minutes in and I'm like, good, tuned into love.
Same.
Right? At times I'm like, okay, 45 minutes. I'm still like fighting with my mother in my head. Yeah.
I'm good at it.
Yeah. And I'm sure we're going to get into this more, but my technique, what I teach my clients that go through the cleanse especially, is to learn how to, like, you can practice by putting something in your hand when it comes to tuning into your intuition. Put like coffee in your hand, right? And be like, is this good for my body? And tune into the torso is my technique, but some people feel it in their heart. Now I just hear it, yep, no,
Same.
right, to my head. But initially it's interesting to tune into your body and take some deep breaths into your belly and just feel if there's like a airy, light sensation, it's a yes. And if it's a crunchy, heavy, dense, it's almost like you have to poop sensation, it's a no.
For sure.
For me, you got to figure out what your yes and no's are.
Totally. And
Right.
it also comes with like attunement and trusting the body's innate intelligence and intuition. So like people come like, because I also muscle testing is a big part of my foundation. And I actually don't really muscle because I can just feel the answers nowadays. But like sometimes I'm not trusting myself fully. Like I will muscle test, but I also like to teach other people how to muscle test because it's such an empowering tool of like, oh, is this product or is this something aligned for me?
Yeah.
And so for anybody listening, like learning how to sway test, you can look up tons. So it's just like in addition to like what you just shared.
Yeah. What is
like
it?
if you go to like a grocery store, you want a baseline yes and no. So like you say like, okay, make sure your field is zipped up because that's a whole nother approach. We can go down. I've taught many muscle testing classes that can go because I have so many tricks in my arsenal.
Wait, but explain that though, because that's an important point. It sounds like, what does it mean field is zipped up?
So over time, like we can, if let's say we've been interacting with a bunch of people or we've had a lot of stress that day, our field is normally like, so meaning that there's different various energies that could influence our answers as well. So we want to be in a more stable baseline place. And the way to set that up is like, you can imagine like if you were a bubble of light, making sure it's just sealed up and it's just you present in there. Because you're telling your system, we're going to get clear answers right now. And then you'll test yes and no. So you'll like ask your body to show you yes. Most people are going to sway forward. Some people I've learned sway side to side. So you got to learn what's yes and no if you're a side to side person.
Oh, interesting.
And then you'll say, show me no. And then usually your body will, oops, I just hit my head. Will go backwards. And so then like, once you have that baseline established, you also like, if you wanted to take it a step deeper, you want to say, okay, like my name is Madison. I'm going to move forward. And then if you say like, my name is Paul, I'm going to go backwards. It's your name. Keep saying your name over and over until you get the yes. Okay. And that'll usually click any other people's energy out of the field. And then from there, let's say like with coffee, for example, it's okay. Like, does this coffee drinking this coffee now going to serve me? Actually, my body said yes. How interesting. I'm just imagining a coffee earlier. And then if it's a no, your body might sway backwards, or you might get like it's like not bad, it's not good, it's not misaligned, but is it for my highest? Yeah. You do that with be careful not to get obsessed. Like I used to get obsessed with that kind of stuff when my perfectionism would kick on. But if you're really wanting to like focus and tune into your body and like what's like products or ingredients are really going to serve you, that's a gentle way to start tuning. Another way. Yeah. Just a little added on top of what you're already. described. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. The sway technique. I love it. I want to go deeper on the zipping up because I think this is important, especially for people like yourself that are psychic and you can sense energies. I've been with people that walk down the street and then they get overwhelmed because they tune into all these different energy bodies that are like struggling or frazzled or anxious. And then they absorb it and then they don't know how to navigate the world.
Totally. I mean, I know it's taken me years to fine tune my own hygiene practice and like sealing up and like maintaining just the integrity of my field, because when somebody comes into work with me, like I'm opening up my senses to be in service to them.
Yeah.
Read for them. So like, and I'm multisensory. I have all the clairs.
Yeah.
So for someone who is sensitive, who is, who feels a lot or empaths or takes on a lot, like first of all, like let's not form a story around that or make it a part of our identity. Yes, it can be a part of our trade, and maybe it shows up in human design or astrology, but that can also be worked with. And it takes practice. It's training muscles. Yeah. It's just like going to a gym, but it's training the field. For any, like, let's say like, you're going into a Target and it's going to be chaotic. I would sit in like a little prayer in my car before, and I would start to imagine like a golden ball of light starting to just kind of contain my field and be with it until I feel like it actually is there. And so I actually feel the protection and I feel myself being supported. And that's me also declaring like, okay, I'm sovereign and I'm not going to take on anybody else's energy. And if I'm meant to feel something or sense something for my own safety and whatever, like let's say there's like a predator energy type in the store, like I'm going to be alarmed. Yeah. I'm going to feel that. Yeah. So, right. Yeah. Right. I've heard it described as a golden egg. Put yourself in a golden egg. Or a violet egg or whatever like is really resonant. Because like some people like, I don't feel gold today. I feel like I want to be with the blue energy. Great. You listen to that. And if like, also too, like if you're like, well, I need extra protection, like call on your angels, call on Christ, call on the deities that support and serve you. Is super sensitive and she can feel like her neighbor, right? And so her technique is return to sender. When she feels frazzled and she's like, this doesn't feel like mine. And I don't even know how she identifies that, but she'll tune in and be like, is this my energy? She'll ask that question and she'll get a no. And she'll say, return to sender. And it works for her. And like, she literally believes it though too. You have to, but like part of the energy work stuff is like, you've got to believe it. And that's why I invite people to feel it. Like, do you feel like it's true for you? A lot of people don't want to feel things. So, well, it's interesting. Like if you're really anxious and you're like, I don't have anything to be anxious about. Most likely not yours. There's some kind of toxin in the body. Or there's toxin in the body, or you're eating an animal that's been tortured. Right. That's why we bless our food, especially for eating animals. Yeah. Or I kind of advocate more the plant-based diet, right? Or knowing where you get your products and your food from. Very important. Totally. Because that energy passes. Wow. Okay. So let's go there then. Toxicity and how that influences your clients and what you have seen. Yeah. So many people come to me with all kinds of autoimmune stuff. Lyme disease is part of my path and journey of how I got to where I am. People, if they're coming in with depression or anxiety, or they're in some kind of Herx reaction, I can go on and on of why they're coming in. 9 times out of 10, there's some kind of EMF bombarding the field. And so they're not thinking their own thoughts. They feel crazy, that knocks their spirit out of their field, which that's a whole other little path I could talk about. And then because the EMFs are then making their field more susceptible and it's actually weakening the auric field, everything starts to get weaker over time. The DNA starts to fracture and get damaged and whatnot. So then if we go that path, the methylation, we're not processing our nutrients properly, then we're just becoming even more and more susceptible to toxins. And the body's like, well, I don't have what I need to purge these. And then that can create a cycle too, if like someone's body is overwhelmed with toxins, especially if they're eating non-organic food, it's filled with glyphosate. And all the other agriculture chemicals, that stuff will start to store in the tissues. And then what I've seen many times is like, let's say there's mercury, there's aluminum, or there's cadmium, or even glyphosate. And I see glyphosate intolerances in people's bodies so commonly. Of course. Half the time people, like I won't say half the time, a lot of people are coming into me nowadays with like anxiety. They don't feel like themselves. They're like, I can't, like my belly's bloated. I'm like, yeah, you're in a freaking glyphosate intolerance. Like, and so what I know how to do is like shut it down and help the body to clear it. And then like, hey, you need to like really do your best to avoid this. And I can actually track like, hey, did you eat this on this day? I can get like really specific, which is fun. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. So, but what I've seen though is with like mercury, cadmium in the tissues, there's usually trapped emotions with it. Oh, interesting. It's been really fast. So then once we clear the trapped emotional energy, the body like will usually let go of the toxins and vice versa. Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah, it's super fascinating. That's really cool. And also something I like to look at too is You know, our bodies are very intelligent. We can handle certain amounts of toxins and stressors, but when we cross a certain threshold or we've hit our tolerance level, then the body gets bombarded.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of the work that I do is like, okay, let's help the body move these through and out and come into a more homeostasis.
Right.
There's something I want to just share about, but like more importantly, like that. Something I also like to do is look at the patterns in the body. And I'm saying all this too, because if anybody's listening, you can come into prayer with it of like, oh, I think I'm storing excess toxins, or my body's not processing or methylating properly. You can be prayer like, God, show me how, or universe, whatever you like to pray to, show me how to get my system into a place where it's just processing normally.
Yeah.
And,
huge.
So I also like to look at like someone I worked on last night. She was in a very gnarly Herx reaction. She has all kinds of pathogens. So we've been building in her field, like how to help her body and her cellular behavior filter out these things. So it goes after the pathogens rather than the healthy cells or like the healthy tissues of the body. Because over time, toxic, stress, mental breakdowns, you name it, pharmaceuticals, confuse the system and how to work.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I walked into a client's home, and part of the VIP package is I actually come to their home with some gadgets and I test their air quality, water quality, EMF exposure. And I bring these little gadgets with me, and the EMF reader, as soon as I turn it on, I walked in the house and it was going off, red zone alarms, right? And I'm like, you guys are living in a microwave. What is happening? Sure enough, they had a router right 5 feet away. Right? You got the modem, and then the router is like the expander. So 5 feet away from their couch. They had another one right on her desk where she was 2 feet away from where she was standing all day. I'm like,
how are they functioning? I mean, I can't function under that.
No, I even brought the thing to their pillow in their bedroom, and it was like still going off. I'm like, you guys, they had like 5 things plugged into right below their bed. I'm like, you turn off the router, turn off the Wi-Fi at night.
Any, like symptoms of like ADHD?
Oh, they
or,
couldn't,
like, not focus,
they couldn't
or...
sleep.
Okay.
And she ended up with cancer. Yeah, they wait. I'm like, how do you guys sleep? They're like, not so good. I'm like, do you wake up tired? They're like, exhausted. I'm like, yeah, because your energy body's frazzled all night.
All electricity, yeah.
It's current. That we were so accustomed to, but when you get sensitive, you feel it.
Oh yeah. And then, so I also like to recommend to clients who are EMF sensitive is, keep electronics out of the room, but also put Wi-Fi on a timer.
Yeah.
And it's so like
easy.
Sleep
done.
Better.
Yeah.
And obviously like harmonizing the home too.
Yeah. What does that look like?
I always recommend EMF solutions. I like them because one, I've known it works for me, and they do blood analysis work. So they can actually see with their products how the blood shifts once you've used their products.
Wow.
Or not. Yeah.
Cool.
Really powerful. So I would recommend that. They have like personal wear, that they have like room harmonizers. You can have them come out and like look at your whole home and harmonize your whole home to support with EMF protection.
And then I wanted to get to back to the toxicity point, because we are living in a toxic soup of a world right now, from the air, the water, the food, the products, the lotions, especially. I think I say this over and over, but it's so important. What you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream within 15 minutes. So you need to know what these products, the ingredients are. And if you can't read them, because there's 15 letters, right? Then please don't be lathering your skin with it. Don't be washing your hair with it. Don't be washing your clothes with it, right? And sadly, beauty products are some of the most toxic. And perfumes, we're spraying right on our thyroid. Literally, hormone imbalancing perfumes, spraying it on some of the thinnest skin we have on our body. So it's really important. So that's why we are such huge advocates of the juice cleanse and the detox whole program. It's because, and why ours is so different is because we actually start with detoxing the home.
That's kind of the priority. That's where you're living. Your environment, like you can't really heal unless the environment is set up for you to heal.
Right. And even if you detox the body and you come home to a toxic home, you're retoxifying. So it's such a easy, low-hanging fruit. We start there, then we go through the actual cleanse, the body cleanse, right? Yeah, we're through a juice cleanse and water. I'm now a big advocate of water fasting. I've never been an advocate, and then I did one a couple of weeks ago, and I loved it. It was shockingly easy. It was actually way easier than juice fasting because you don't have to make it juice, and it worked. I mean,
How many days did you go for?
5, Monday to Friday. I lost 9 pounds.
Congratulations.
All the inflammation, the excess fat, off. I needed 4 units of insulin compared to 30.
Okay.
Or 40.
Did you rest
40.
or did you keep working when you were?
No, I was mildly walking. What made it harder is I was still coming to Conscious Kitchen.
My smells and all.
My mother is in the back making banana pancakes, but I made it through. Yeah. And on day 5, I should have stayed home and rested.
Yeah.
And so it's time to rest. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people that go through a cleanse on their own, they think, oh, I'm so weak, I need food. No, that is the moment that your body's actually cleansing the strongest. That's when you need the coach to support you.
Going deeper into the layers. Yeah.
And when it pulls the toxicity out, it goes into your bloodstream. It's going to feel woozy. You're going to feel weak.
You're not going to feel good.
No.
You're not going to feel good at all.
No.
Your emotions are going to come up. All the fears are going to come up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're starving the body out of the things that need to go.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's in those moments that the detox your mind part kicks in, because we've taken away the coping mechanism of food. Then you've got to sit with these emotions that come up, right? And not just numb them out with alcohol or marijuana or food or any of the things.
TV or Netflix. Or, I mean, I am a proponent, like, hey, if like you've hit something and like you really need to check out, yeah, go Netflix and chill. Do it. But like, what are you also wanting to escape from?
Yeah. Right. Or how about walk in nature and actually tune into what you're trying to escape from? Mm-hmm. Like, what is that? Let's go there. Mm-hmm. I always want to go. I've always been someone that wants to go into my subconscious. Like, show me what's driving this car. Like
a little too much.
Yeah, probably too much. But now now I know. I know it's there, and I'm in the driver's seat for the first time in my whole life.
That feels so good.
Oh,
I feel that too. And when I come out of the driver's seat, and it's usually a different aspect of like my little girl who's afraid, or my inner teenager who wants to rebel and get her way. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. She's a fun one, but man, she's hard to get.
Yeah.
Let me come back into operation mode.
You and I are the same. Do not tell me what to do. Don't be avoidant, because I go into major anxious Nikki mode. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now I can recognize it. And I'm like, oh, that's cute little Nikki. You're okay. Probably has nothing to do with you. And if it does, then check in real quick. Hey, everything good? We're cool? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get my needs met. Like,
totally. I call it like self-resourcing. Like, okay, we're not resourced right now. How can we get you resourced?
Yeah. Okay, back to you, because your wisdom is so brilliant. You told me the other day that you can actually tune into the light field and see where the mold is in the house.
Yes, the light field of home. Yeah. So I have clients that'll call me, and if they're buying a home, I have a few realtor clients as well, and they're like, hey, we want to like invest in this project. Can you just like tune in to see where there's like potential leaks and whatnot in the house? And I'll be like, okay, yeah, kitchen here, like go check that. And so people come to me with mold toxicity. I'm like, I can usually find the source within the house.
Unbelievable gift.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I'm sorry, you guys can't see me. You're listening on my mouth is just dropped open. It is so cool. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I can usually tell, like, okay, they're like, I'm using an example of the last client that came in, I supported with that. And I was like, there's still something off with the pipe behind like the washer machine. And then so, and it's just helpful for her to then like call someone to come mitigate it.
And it's always been accurate?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I've had a few, and I'll be honest, I've had a few instances with scanning a few people who've either had cancer, and I legally do not tell people like, yeah, you have cancer or not, but I'm like, hey, like, I really think you should go work with a doctor. Anyways, if I've been wrong, my confidence in my scanning will go down a little bit.
Right.
And my niece, actually, she got a physical injury. She's 2.5, and she was like in a lot of pain, and then worked on her shortly after and like brought her back to life, but she still had a lot of pain for a couple of days. I was like, because I have been able to see tears and ligament, broken bones and ligaments and tendons and whatnot, or even just internal bruising. And I was like, yeah, I definitely see some internal bruising, but like I'm not seeing anything. And then she went and got a scan, and she had a hairline fracture. And so like for days, I don't want to say I beat myself up, but I definitely lost some confidence of like, why didn't I see that? But also if I zoom out, I can look and see like, okay, like her and my brother-in-law and my sister, like they had to like, be okay with going through like Western medicine processes. And so I was like, they had to do what they had to do. It's not all my responsibility to be able to see everything. There's other lessons there. Sorry, I just went a whole tangent. No. It's fascinating. Mold reading.
It's really fascinating because it happens like where, yeah, sometimes we're off. And I
don't like to be wrong.
None of us do, right? But it's like if you speak to any expert, they're an expert because they've failed so many times. They know what not to do.
For sure.
Right? I wonder if like in that moment you even like tune back in and there was maybe a little subtle thing that you didn't listen to, or like, right?
For sure. Well, I'm like, there's something here, but I can't see it all the way.
Yeah, well, hairline fractures.
It's just a little fracture.
Right. So, yeah.
But now I know, like, next time someone comes in and they want me to scan, I'm like, let's look for hairline fractures too. Let's put it on the list of things to scan for.
Wow. Yeah. That's how you learn, right? Yeah.
Totally.
Wow, cool. How can you support people in developing this within themselves, like intuition? Like what would you advise?
Detoxing, physical detoxing is
Yes.
extremely supportive. Meditation, it's coming in with an intention, first of all, like, hey, like I would love, like with yourself, with source, God, you know, I'd really love to come into intuition and trusting it. And it is a practice. It's a muscle. It's a skill set that gets trained, and we all have access to it. So detoxing, fasting also is very supportive. And then in the fasting, you know, the body's going to go through different survival strategies and mechanisms and coping mechanisms. And in that, you can start to discern, oh, wow, that's fear. Okay, this is more of my intuition. I'm going to start listening to like the deeper intelligence within the body. That's another way to get answers from the body. Also say like human design is supportive. And I haven't gone too deep into like studying human design. I'm very aware of my human design. Like I'm an emotional authority. And so I need to, for me, like I know I need to go through my waves to get to clarity. And for someone who's like spleen, you know, they're pretty clear on their yeses and nos right away. Okay. And I also know, like for me being a general emotional authority and a generator authority or emotional generator, is like asking myself the question. And sometimes I'll actually have my friends ask me the question of like, hey, Madison, like, do you want to go on this trip tomorrow? An emotional generator, and it could just be emotional authorities in general. It's like, uh-huh or uh-uh. And so listening to even that response within the body to help you get answers.
That's mine.
Yeah.
So clear. It's like, yep, nope.
Mine can be too, but then I'm like, but like maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So then I have to like, you know, go through all the different emotions around making that choice point.
Well, yeah, we override.
But I have been getting way better. It's like just making faster decisions, but then I have the emotional wave decision. Anyways, meditation is also very, very, very supportive practice and getting to know yourself and your body and the direction you want to even like take your life and guide your life in that way.
Yeah, I'll tune into what you just said, because the detoxing, I call it the juice of the juice cleanse, is you become such a clear channel to your own body's wisdom and to spirit. Like I ask for guidance and it's instant. I'll get the download, I'll get the phone call, I'll get the text message, I'll get like, right? Instant. Like it used to take like, okay, give spirit a couple, a day or two, right? No.
Not any, and I know people that are channels, like myself included, like we are becoming the quantum field.
Yeah.
So we are the field. And when we like ask for something, it comes fast, especially if we allow it and we expect it. But that also is like you've cleaned your body out.
Right.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, imagine. So this is how I describe it. Remember, you're younger than I am, so I don't think you remember the rabbit ears on televisions.
Well, I've seen pictures.
Okay. My generation actually had to maneuver these rabbit ears to try and get reception, right? We like angle it towards the window. And so I use the visual of like having one of those on your head. Like you're an antenna, your body's an antenna. And if you take those rabbit ears and you swirl it around in a vat of like saturated fat and toxic chemicals from the food that we're eating and the air we're breathing, and then you let that kind of dry and cake on, and then the next day you eat the same food and you have the same toxic thoughts and you swirl that around back in that vat of, saturated fat from all these like excess animal products in all of every meal. Right. And then you let that dry every day. You keep swirling around. Eventually your little rabbit ears are caked.
Yep. We love that.
Caked.
Just kidding.
Right. And so you can't get the reception. And so I have experienced just magnificent transformation and elevation in my spiritual practice, thanks to the juice cleansing. I love it. It's like, I call it the juice of the juice cleanse.
Yeah. And like, I like how you use like the antenna, the vessel. Like if we are a clogged vessel, how is spirit going to work through the vessel? It's going to get clunky and
it's dulled. Literally, the senses are dulled. All of your senses, your taste buds, your sight, your smell. Like I've had people go through the cleanse and then a pecan tastes sweet. Things that you never realized before have sweetness to them. Because we're so used to this like high fructose corn syrup and things that are so wildly, like salted and sweetened that our taste buds have dulled.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. And I'm sure also too with like, I know with detoxing in my own experience with like doing so many detoxes.
You're also detoxing the dopamine hits if you cleanse from the screens. So then like so much more little things are going to bring you joy.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's like being able to find the joy and the actual pleasure of just being in the mundane of like hearing a bird chirp in the morning. Like that's the level I'm at, like being able to like when I'm drinking tea, like I have a chow dao tea practice in the mornings and like just seeing the squirrels just smile at me at the thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get and to derive that much pleasure from taking a breath, right? Wait, what is your tea practice? Tell me more.
It's through the Global Tea Hut lineage. It's called Chow Dao. And so I have teas that are sourced either through Living Tea or Global Tea Hut. And it's like a ceremonial tea experience. Serve you tea sometimes.
Yes, please.
And I'll usually drink tea for about anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. And it's just slow sipping, brewing tea in either leaves in a bowl or a side handle. And then there's Gung Fu Cha, which I'm not trained in yet or haven't practiced that one. But it's another way to drink even more fine tea.
Wow.
And it's a very reflective, contemplative practice. And there's Zen Buddhism that's kind of woven in through it naturally. So I used to be very big into psychedelics as well as part of my healing process. And then this is not coming from an egoic standpoint. I feel like I've graduated it and I don't need it anymore. But of course, I still love to journey. I love journeying. Yeah. And so the tea teachings for me and my personal relationship with it is I get little just teachings every day. And I'll come to sit and I'll hear one word and that it just opens and blossoms up for the rest of my day.
Wow. Beautiful. It's funny. I've used quite a bit of plant medicine as well to support me in healing my traumas and what I absorbed through my ancestry. And they were profound and essential. And I even sat actually the other day it originally was to support my girlfriend. And of course, I got so much out of it in this round, and I'm actually going to do a podcast about it. I was talking about, in my head, I went in with this kind of coaching angle, show me what I need to release to be successful at Conscious Kitchen, right?
Can I reframe that for you? It's almost instead of feeling what do I need to clear? Because I'm also who do I get to embody and be the success of this kitchen? Because that's expanding versus I got to go in and I got to dig. And it's no, who do I get to become? And in that becoming, what's meant to clear will clear.
I love that. Thank you for the reframe. Way better question. But the funny thing is the message I got during the journey was, get out of the way. Nothing to do with you. You're on purpose. You're supporting humanity and reconnecting to nature and detoxing this world and supporting people and elevating themselves. It has nothing to do with your success.
No. And so also too, I'm seeing now too, it's okay, so if we look at a business, I work with people's businesses, same as I do with people's fields. I work on the health of businesses and support them in that way. So you can look at your business, Conscious Kitchen as a soul, as a light body. And then you can start to be are there leaks here? What can I do to support it and expanding? Okay, there's something where it's not hitting the market that it can. You can start to look at it yourself in that way. Yes, it's you're the one supporting it, but also it's supporting you too. But I'm look at it as something outside of you in a way, but again, its own soul and how to support the soul of the business.
Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay, can we actually do a little practice run? Demonstrating your juju is always brilliant. Yeah, I really feel my job is to just tune in and hear whose genius needs to be brought in. And for me, it's a community effort. I don't know all the answers. Neither does any one person. So I want the wisdom that's what this podcast is all about. And this whole concept really is just let's all celebrate each other's wisdom and support each other in navigating this very interesting life path.
It's even just interesting times to be alive.
Right?
It feels like.
Yeah. Okay. Are you willing to tune into my
Yeah, totally.
my business field?
Yeah, you can see how I process too. So I'll usually ask, do I have permission to work in the field?
Yes, you do.
And so the first thing that pops up is the field of your business. And it's nice to be sitting in it too. I used to go travel to people's business locations to support physical locations as well for clearings. It was,
Oh, love that.
She wants to be supported in visibility. And so is it okay if I work in your field too?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if I'm looking at more of the feminine aspect, so when your field starts to show me the left side of your body, I'm okay, we're going to work in some feminine architecture here. So there's just a little bit of grasping and controlling. It's not bad, but is it okay if we start to release there?
Please.
See, I speak light language too to help me clear. See, and then there's a little bit, and you can do whatever you want with this, but I see your mom.
Yeah.
Here, and it's there's some conflict. She wants to control the whole thing. So it feels like your guys' visions are a little off.
Yep.
Your vision is very expansive and it supports the evolution of the soul of Conscious Kitchen and serving communities even far and wide. Where your mom, it looks like she's so like focused on like here and like the tedious tasks to a degree. And there's more there.
Nailing it.
So it almost like there needs to be like a role defining of like, mom, you're in charge of the kitchen, and like all other business aspects are up to me. So it's like really coming into your guys' roles and defining them. I think we'll be really supportive. Of course, she's still going to do her thing because she likes the control and the being in that seat of power as well.
You're listening, Mom.
I love you. Thank you for all the treats.
She still wants chocolate.
They were so good. See what else? She see that. We're just going to start to release any unhealthy cords between you and your mom. And they're like right around like your stomach area and like up and through your back, through the stomach. I can only imagine what it would be like to be in business with my mom. Like, because I'm seeing it's, I don't want to call it like mind control, like MK Ultra programming, but like there's, you know, through the cord, there's also like this, like a little bit of cording up into your brain and like her, like as if you're still the little girl.
Yep.
And you're not the little girl
Right.
anymore. So that's her own work to do.
Except she doesn't want to do the work. There's nothing wrong
Bless
with her. She's perfect.
So we're going to start to restore here. There's this really beautiful translucent like red and pinkish light starting to come into replace where those cords and a little bit of those control mechanisms from her were once sitting. You guys are also working out some karma together through this business. How funny.
Yeah, oh yeah. Big time. Big time.
Just gonna like, we can create a little bit more ease. You guys got to get on the same page with the vision.
Yeah.
Especially like we're like, as we're closing this 9-year and like I got a couple more months in the snake year, I think it'd be a really good way to like, in a loving way, like, hey, let's get on the same page. Let's get on the same vision. Let's get on the same board. So because that's gonna like, I'm seeing it's like a stream starting to open up as you guys work together.
Yeah. I've literally put an end date to working together, a temporary one.
Okay.
Because I'm witnessing that she doesn't have the capacity to step down.
Okay.
She has her way of having done things with her past restaurant, and so she wants to, as an elder, teach me. Right? It comes from a loving place. She wants to show me how to be successful, and it's very different than how I operate. And she also has a very strong scarcity imprint.
That makes sense, because I'm like, your field is so like expand and it's like ready to go and it's ready to receive and like and hers is like,
yeah, I feel like I'm being so blocked from expanding, and I want her in the kitchen, but she won't stay in the kitchen.
Yeah, and that's like, that needs to be that's one and only role. It's like what I'm seeing.
Yeah. But she's not, so I've asked for a 6-month space to where I get to just, and this is where the like proving I can be successful came in with the whole journey of like that concept, and then I heard it's not about that, which is great. That felt so relieving. Like, I don't want to prove to anybody anything. Like, I just want to be in existence and in flow and in service, really.
I can relate to that. I've been dropping out a lot of proving last like 6 months.
Oh, wow.
But in that there's so much liberation.
Yeah.
And like so many less fucks to give.
Give less fucks, y'all.
It's also a psychological development piece there, but yeah.
Go more there.
I've been looking more into, I haven't like dove deep into any psychology, but if, you know, I work on people from infant, like fresh newborns, fresh out of the womb, coming earthside, all the way to like geriatrics, like people crossing over. And so in that, I've noticed patterns and themes in both men and women when they come a certain age. There's some psychological like development within the hormonal structures and the mental structures and belief system structures where like things become easier and like things lift off naturally. We start to give less fucks because we're just becoming older. Maybe that's not the case for other people. Like, I see this more with people that are in the work.
Wow. Beautiful. Madison, you are a special gift. My goodness. Thank you.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let's make sure the business is sealed.
Let's seal my business, please.
He has a couple more things it wants to say. How are you currently promoting?
Mostly social media and going to events. We do a lot of events and a lot of word of mouth. Some like Chamber of Commerce. I would like more.
Okay, yeah. So, because it's like your signature is the cleanse.
That's my main
product. Okay.
That's my main.
She's showing me one more like signature product that's easier to access.
Okay.
It's it obviously is a food product.
So my mother's concept is the chef certification. She wants to teach people how to become raw vegan chefs. And I want to call it a holistic chef because we teach them the nutrient value of each ingredient.
Okay.
So why we're using each ingredient to heal the body.
Important for people to know, because if we have the knowledge, we can empower the food we're eating.
Right.
So anytime I recommend supplements or like herbs to people, I'm like, go look at like the symbolism of it and like what actually is why. So when you're eating it, you know what it's doing for you.
Yeah. Okay. So fascinating that you're saying this, because I've been trying to navigate, like, there's 4 different businesses under one roof, right? We've got the food, we've got the catering, we've got the food chef certification, and the detox. It's a lot for one person to be marketing.
There needs to be something easier.
Okay.
Because like these are all like, I love that they're all big, I don't want to say concepts, but that's just the word that's coming to my mind. Like, what's an easy entryway to like meet you in the business and like the offerings? I guess it would be coming in
and having the food. That's the entry.
Like, do you have a core messaging? She's like showing me that, she's bringing me into the core.
That humanity needs to reconnect to nature. It's time that we start honoring nature, and
so then through food for you.
Through food, but also through our lifestyles and our behaviors. Like, how many towels do we need at the gym? That are all going into the washing machine and then using bleach and detergent that goes into our rivers and then the oceans, and then people get cancer and they're like, why? Like, we're polluting the planet with each thing we do.
Are you doing a lot of education in your promoting? I won't say a lot, but
yes, and using the podcast really to support and like pulling clips and having that as the educational pieces.
You keep saying like coming back to the core messaging, the root and the why.
My real true why is to advocate animals' welfare, well-being.
Okay.
The way we're treating animals is horrendous, and CAFOs, it's just mind-blowing agony all day long. And so every ounce of me wants to make a bigger impact in that area. And I would love to know how. I mean, just speaking about it, I feel like PETA's been speaking about it for a long time, but people don't necessarily want to listen, and they're starting to.
Well, everybody's so freaking busy too. Like, but I feel like we will be slowed down. Hopefully, I know we're in the age of technology. Something that as you're speaking, and I feel like a part of your mission too is you, yes, embodying right relationship with all that is, but also teaching others how to be in right relationship with their bodies, with their food, with their environment.
Yeah.
Which is, I look at it as like from, if we go like kind of galactic-y and multidimensionally, like if we look at the civilization of Mu or the Lumerians, this was pre-Atlantean time. They were all about being in right relationship with nature, with the elements, with the food and our bodies and sound and just all of it.
Right.
And I feel like there's some of us that are coming back to bring that remembrance back to planet Earth. So I feel like you're one of them.
What a blessing. Thank you.
That's exactly right relationship.
With all sentient beings, with all of the environment. That's why our bodies are dis-eased. We're not in right relationship, not with ourselves, not with our relatives, not with, the environment around us. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
She's showing me. Yeah, she's saying you got to keep coming back to your core truth and remembering your why. She's saying like letting that be enough. Okay, there's something that's stabilizing through like your upper reproductive system. She'll continue to show you because she's also here to expand you as well. I still like when you and your mom come into terms of like vision. I do like the idea of, I mean, you guys already have like the cooking class. Like, what if you guys just did like one also cooking class? Like, instead of like making it, or you can do a series of, you guys do what you want, but I'm saying like making it easier to access stuff.
Yeah.
But also it's nice to have people in committed containers and whatnot too.
Yeah. But like a cooking class, a demo, cooking show.
Yeah. Like easy entry.
Yeah.
Easy entry people.
We actually had someone come here and record a video of us making the food.
Yeah.
So like create a cooking show would be really fun. It's easy. And then we teach the nutrition, we teach the value and coming into right relation with your food.
You could even do it like seasonally too, like with the seasons of the foods. And your business, like she's going to continue to bless you. Like, because you bless her and you bless so many people like around you. So just also like receiving from your business too, like you do.
Oh, so much. So much. Thank you, Madison, for sharing your gifts and your wisdom with us. Yay. Blessings, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Mwah.